Shinku is finally here in the global version of NTE. Being an on-field main DPS Cosmo nightmare, many of you are attracted to adding this character to your account, and well, how could I blame you? Well, who should you be pairing her with? That's what we're tackling today. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. It's Josh, and we're getting into it right, well, after the sauce. Do you need that precious annulus or extra resources to pull right now? Well, we've got the power-up you need. Head to U7 Buy, your ultimate gaming hub for safe, fast, and cheap in-game top-ups as well as recharges. From Neverness to Everness to all your favorite titles, we've got you covered. Check the reviews for U7 Buy on Trustpilot. They have an enormously high rank. U7 Buy's Neverness to Everness direct top-up page lets you recharge instantly at a fraction of the cost elsewhere. If you take a look at the official in-store prices and compare them to what you can find on U7 Buy, you can find things at a much cheaper value, going from so expensive to way cheap all at the same time. Plus, with U7 Buy, not only are you going to get these discount, but they'll also deliver it in seconds. And while you're over there, make sure you use my code JOSH at checkout for an extra discount off of everything else. This is going to be perfect for last minute pulls, monthly passes, or even surprising a fellow friend. 100% secure payments, instant delivery, and thousands of happy players. Bring the power of purchasing back to you. Click the link in the description and visit U7 Buy, recharge fast, save more, and keep exploring the ever-changing city of Neverness to Everness. Now, when you're looking to pair characters together with your Shinku, a lot of it's going to be based around two things. Number one, Shinku is going to be your main on-field damage dealer, driving a lot of the field time and occupying that. But most importantly is her team is going to want to revolve around her super important passive of charge enhancement. All allies gain ultimate energy from charge reactions instead of the active character only. If Shinku's the active character, she gains a stacking 5% attack buff or 30 seconds, up to 10 stacks, and she triggers an additional hit every time charge restores ultimate energy to her with a 1 second cooldown. This charge enhancement buff gives her a ton of damage as well as, well, buffs to her own damage cycle. So we want to pair her with as many characters that allow her to take advantage of these two things, being on field, being your main damage dealer, and also giving you access to as many hits from the Blossom Buds while she's on field doing damage. So let's break down some of her most powerful teammates based on their Esper element. First off is going to be Hathor. Everyone loves Hathor for her powerful skill and ultimate ability, but the reason Hathor is one of the best teammates for Shinku is because of Hathor's Remora enhancement ability. This simply extends the target's Remora duration to 12 seconds while also increasing the crit rate of all allies by 10% when attacking targets afflicted by Remora. Extending the Remora duration to 12 seconds is a pretty big deal. This is a pretty big deal as extending the duration of Remora is going to give you additional time for the blossoms that you spawn, the Vital Pustles, to hit the targets in proc charge, which is in turn going to give you more attack stacks and free damage off of Shinku's own charge enhancement passive. I don't want to say Hathor is a must-have for a Shinku team, but in my opinion, she almost is a must-have for a Shinku team. The amount of free damage you get just from having this Remora enhancement passive inside of a Shinku team is absolutely insane. And you'll also be able to add a decent amount of quick damage from aerial command, her skill, as well as her ultimate Rider Express. You don't have access to Hathor, well, you're gonna want to use another Lakshana character. You can use Skia, Chaos of the Lakshana element. He's kind of got his own thing going on, and you could make a Lakshana focused Chaos plus Shinku team, and is more of a Chaos focused team than it is a Shinku focused team. So if you're really looking forward to adding Shinku and making a team based around her, you're going to want to have Hathor on your squad. But luckily for you, you can use the new selector we're getting for 1.2 to select that Hathor for this team. Now, when we're looking for Anima characters, weirdly, one of the best supports for Shinku actually is going to be Nanally. Now, Nanally is here because of her more than passionate Blossom enhancement buff, which allows you to fire 10 Vital Pistols with one single Vita Bud instead of the usual amount. But the big deal here is that it reduces the interval between each shot to 1 second, which aligns up perfectly with the charge enhancement passive of Shinku herself. Remember, it has a 1 second internal cooldown, and so will this Blossom enhancement passive as well, meaning that every single time you form one Vital Bud with a Blossom Esper cycle reaction, you're going to get 10 Vita pistols, which will line up perfectly with Shinku's own charge enhancement passive. You're going to get those attack stacks almost instantaneously in 6 seconds, but in addition to that, the extra 4 Vita buds that you're shooting after you're fully stacked up on the attack are going to continuously proc those additional hits from proccing charge reactions due to the charge enhancement passive of Shinku as well. I know we think of Nanally as more of a main on-field DPS character, and she still is, but in a Shinku team, she provides so much free damage for your main carry in the form of Shinku, simply off of this more than passionate Blossom enhancement, that she doesn't really need to be on the field and is just good hanging out as a support for Shinku during most of your rotation. Now, Gunmom Jiuyuan is going to be a pretty awesome support for Shinku as well. She also does have a Blossom enhancement passive, and this traditionally is one of the better, well, core Blossom enhancements for a Blossom team. It doesn't work nearly as well as Nanally's does. This Blossom enhancement passive spawns an additional Vita bud and increases the bud limit on the field to 6, which increases the overall amount of damage you're doing with Blossom itself. However, as both Vita buds spawn at the same exact time, they will both do damage at the same exact time to targets under Remora, meaning that you're not really gaining access to additional damage from the charge enhancement passive of Shinku in the same type of way that you are with a character like Nanally. You'll still be able to stack up the attack passive to maximum. You're just not going to get those extra hits from having that 1 second internal cooldown on the charge enhancement passive of Shinku being matched up with a 1 second damage Blossom from the Vita Bud enhancement of someone like Nanally will. That being said, Jiuyuan is still going to be amazing. She's still going to have her skill to gather enemies up, and then doing some quick swap burst damage with her skill and ultimate in conjunction there. And if you happen to have an awakening for Jiuyuan, then you are going to be able to get a little bit of healing off of her A2, which restores health to the entire team, equal to some of the damage that she does with her Rose Pack settlement. If you have neither of those characters, you could sub in someone like Mint, who is one of the Anima characters we can use, and she does expand the Vita pistol's damage to be an area effect hit, but this also does not play super well with Shinku's own charge passives. You might be doing multiple damage to enemies with Remora, but remember, the charge passive of Shinku has that 1 second internal cooldown, so it's not going to proc for everybody that you're hitting with the Mint Blossom enhancement buff. A character that's not out quite yet is going to be Iroi, and she isn't solidified, so I don't want to talk too much about her, but she'll be able to heal the party up a little bit, revive somebody if you have a bad time, boost up the damage that your characters are doing, but most importantly for Iroi is her own Blossom enhancement passive, which allows the Blossoms to last twice as long out on the field. So as far as increasing the damage that you're doing with the charge enhancement passive of Shinku's, Iroi is going to be able to do something pretty similar to that of Nanally, and they'll both work very well together. So if you're really having fun with Shinku, look forward to Iroi when she is released in the second part of 1.2. For other Cosmos characters, we're going to start with none other than Zero, the main character. And Zero's going to be here for, well, what Zero's in every single team for. That's right, it's for Appraise and Engrave and her ability to fully cycle her energy with a simple cast of her skill. You'll be able to use this to quickly proc either Blossom or Remora, so you have those up on your targets. So you can then quickly use one of your other two characters to start the charged reaction, giving you a quick and efficient and easy to play rotation with your Shinku. They'll also add some free damage with Divide by Zero in the form of their ultimate. You can also build them up for cycle intensity, so you have bigger and better Blossom as well as Remora reaction. Hathor is a character that you can use in a Shinku squad, especially if you're looking for a premium Shinku squad. You'll either use Hathor or Zero in a Shinku team, but not both at the same time. And you'll be able to use Hathor for everything that she's normally used for, copying very powerful skills, including sometimes, depending on if you're good at the rotation, an enhanced skill of Shinku's herself, being able to do big damage with World-Tide, Hattori's own ultimate ability, or for the skillful players out there, using present replay to copy the support skills of characters so you can keep both Remora or Blossom up inside of your rotations. If you want to use Hathor instead of Zero the MC in a Shinku team, it won't be as easy of a rotation for you to use, but, well, basically she's going to be harder to play, but has a higher potential for damage inside of a Shinku setup. Shinku is going to have a fair amount of different teams that you're going to be able to place her together with, although charge as a reaction is going to be one of her main focuses. So you're going to want to have at least one Lakshana and at least one Anima character in your setup. So these are going to be some of the best characters you can pair in a Shinku party. We will be doing a full Shinku guide, as well as probably a team guide on top of that utilizes some of the more underutilized teammates that we didn't really talk about here. If you want to see more of that stuff, well, you know what to do. Slap that sub, God bless, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.